Down on the inside, Ernie Palmer and Ron Blake. Back in the second row, Eddie Burns and Butch McWhirt in the third. At a turn 4, setting the pace, Chris Kokosa, John Gray coming along with him. Green flag flies. We're going racing into turn 1. Up into turn 1, your leader, Chris Kokosa with a 00. John Gray runs second, Ernie Palmer Jr. third. We got one up against the wall in turn 2, Joe Ficini and Eddie Burns. Yellow lights immediately coming out on the speedway as Joe Ficini taking a ride up in turn 2, nosing it up into turn 2, banking up against the wall. Eddie Burns also out of the lineup. Eddie Burns will go back to the rear after his involvement there. Ready to go, green flag out of turn 4, down the front stretch they come. Green flag flies, Chris Kokosa, your leader, down across the stripe up into turn 1. John Gray shows in second spot, Ernie Palmer Jr. in third. Battle for 4th position, we find Mike Dolan and Ronnie Blake going at it. Blake gets the 4th spot as they work their way down the backstretch.
Up into turn number 3, Chris Kokosa takes the Stan and France Texaco number 00 car through the corners nicely. He is your leader here down the front straightaway.
As they make their way down the front stretch, Ron Blake now moves into 3rd position. Ronnie Blake moves to the inside of the 42 of Ernie Palmer, and now up to the outside, holds on to that spot as they make their way down the backstretch.
Ron Blake racing in 3rd, Ernie Palmer Jr. in 4th, and Butch McWhirt swings to the high side, quickly makes the pass up there at turn number 3, trying to take that spot away from Ernie Palmer Jr. Guy Sheldon trying to follow up through.
Guy Sheldon now trying to put some pressure on Freddie Besh. See the teamwork on the side of Fred Besh's car. Besh also involved in that crash back there, but Besh able to keep going and now working his way up through the pack.
Black Bart Guy Sheldon aboard the Sheldon Oil Services Jiffy Lube Special has cracked the top 10. He's in running spot number 9 now as he tries to follow Fred Besh through on the high side of the speedway.
6th, 7th, and 8th spot, all very highly contested positions. Now to 62 of Ron Kroos, the rookie here in the Sportsman division. Ron Kroos showing a very creditable 6th position.
Your leaders work up into turn number 3. Number 1 man on the point is still Chris Kokosa. Now John Gray has closed in, as has Ron Blake in 3rd.
First 3 cars all together. Then we find Butch McWhirt in 4th. This spot, Mike Dolan in the 26. Back to 6th position, Ron Kroos. The 6 of Freddie Besh runs 7th. 8th spot, the 518 of Guy Sheldon. 9th to Bobby Hackle, and rounding out your top 10, the 91M of George Marcus.
Ron Blake makes the pass of John Gray. He's your new 2nd place man as he's taken the Flint's Pharmacy 44 up to 2nd. Now closes in on your leader, Kokosa.
As they work down the front stretch, still a good battle back there between Ron Kroos, Fred Besh, and Guy Sheldon. Those 3 cars very evenly matched back through the pack as they make their way down the backstretch now.
Guy Sheldon moving underneath Fred Besh. He takes over 7th spot, and that Sheldon Oil Services 518 car, the mole-powered car, and he closes in on Ron Kroos' 62.
Ronnie Blake now starting to put pressure on Chris Kokosa. Blake right on the back bumper of Kokosa down in turn 1. Off of turn 2, now Kokosa. Ron Blake coming at him as they work their way down into turn 3.
The 2 Massachusetts drivers at the head of the field here. Look out, as that time there's contact between them, Kokosa and Ron Blake, but everybody hangs on and they stay right there, 1 and 2.
Down the front stretch still, right there in the lead is your 00, Chris Kokosa. Ron Blake runs 2nd, John Gray 3rd. 4th spot to Butch McWhirt now, as 5th position still being held by Mike Dolan.
Running back in 6th is Ron Kroos. 7th is Guy Sheldon. Fred Besh races in spot number 8. Bobby Hackle in the number 9 position, and George Marcus into the top 10.
Looking back to the field, good close race in action. George Marcus and Donnie Corellis and Art Collins all right there together. 3 very fast runners trying to work their way up to the field. Now Sheldon works around Ron Kroos to take the 6th position.
Guy Sheldon trying to move into the top 5 as now he closes in on 5th place runner Mike Dolan in the Firehouse Auto Parts number 6, holding down that 5th place spot. Here's the race for 1st place.
Down here into turn 1 now. Ron Blake trying to work the outside. Butch McWhirt in 3rd spot now, trying to make his way to the front.
Ron Blake gets up a good head of steam down the backstretch, takes a look underneath Kokosa. Kokosa holds his line into the corner, and here comes Butch McWhirt charging up on the high side as John Gray runs there 4th.
Halfway point, 10 down, 10 to go for Chris Kokosa. Down into turn 1, Kokosa takes the lead up into turn 1. Still, right on the back bumper is Ron Blake, and now Butch McWhirter joining the battle.
Chris Kokosa leading him around here at just past the halfway point of this event, and a pass for the lead up in turn number 3. We've got a new leader. It's Ron Blake. He goes way wide in turn 4, but he gathers it up, and Blake is in command.
Down across the stripe, Ronnie Blake now is your leader. Butch McWhirter also working by Chris Kokosa. Car out of shape. The 26 of Dolan getting turned around, and now a chain reaction. We got a couple cars going around, spinning to avoid, and a couple more nowhere to go. And a lot of good competitors tied up in this one as Mike Dolan, the first car around down here, as Dolan and Sheldon running together. Sheldon being able to continue cars together down going into turn 3 as a brake check going into turn 3 has sent him scattering. Out of turn 4, green flag flies up front here for Ron Blake, Butch McWhirter, Chris Kokosa, John Gray, and Guy Sheldon. Sheldon works down to the inside now, owns the 4th position as he passes Gray.
Ron Blake, your leader down the backstretch. Butch McWhirter in that number 2 spot, staying right with him, not trying to let him get too far out of sight here. Kokosa back in 3rd, and Guy Sheldon works to the high side of John Gray. Sheldon in that number 4 spot with a Mopar powered car, works on Chris Kokosa here in the front stretch.
And that time by, you can see the front end on Art Collins' car way out of whack. Art Collins with the 68 way out of shape. And now they work their way down the backstretch.
Guy Sheldon has gotten past Chris Kokosa. He's now your 3rd place man. Kokosa rides back there in 4th. Ron Kroos works on him. Kroos holds down the number 5 position.
Your leader down across the stripe here is Ron Blake as he works up into turn 1 as they start to catch the slower car of Art Collins. Collins with mechanical difficulty. Blake now looking to go around Collins down into turn 3.
Ron Blake out of Pittsfield, Massachusetts, driving the Flynn's Pharmacy number 44, stretching it out over 2nd place man Butch McWhirter in the 32 here in the front stretch.
McWhirter rides there in 2nd spot, then 3rd spot is Black Bart. Guy Sheldon rides in 3rd position, trying to run down the 32 of McWhirter. Then we go back to 4th spot is Chris Kokosa, and currently 5th is Ron Kroos.
But challenging for that 5th place is Donnie Corellis in the J. Paris & Son Landscaping 35. He's got a bruised and battered race car here tonight. Now he gets up into the loose stuff, up in the marbles. He cracks the Armco barrier up there, brushes against the wall, loses a couple of spots, but he stays on the gas here in the front stretch.
Donnie Corellis showing a lot of battle scars on the J. Paris & Son Landscaping 35, but as John said, now trying to run back down the guys he was running with.
In the meanwhile, up in front, it continues to be Ron Blake in the number 1 spot, Butch McWhirter 2nd, and Guy Sheldon continuing to reel in 2nd place man McWhirter as Sheldon holds down the number 3 spot.
Then we've got to go back about 20 car lengths to find early leader Chris Kokosa. Kokosa, one of the youngsters of the class, runs in 4th with rookie Ron Kroos right in 5th.
An impressive ride being turned in by the rookie driver Ron Kroos here as he hangs on to the number 5 spot now and continues to challenge for 4th place from Kokosa.
Your leaders work their way down the front stretch up into turn 1. The Flynn's Pharmacy 44 of Ron Blake continues to be shown your leader, and now that battle for 2nd place starting to heat up.
Sheldon closing in on 2nd place man Butch McWhirter. Sheldon rides in that number 3 spot, gets within to a couple car lengths. He's about 3 car lengths back up in turn 4 here at the head of the front stretch.
But this time by, Ronnie Blake takes the 2 to go sign. That means Guy Sheldon just 2 laps to catch and pass Butch McWhirter, as it appears that Ron Blake may be cruising to career victory number 1 out here in the Sportsman division.
This time around will be white flag time for the Flynn's Pharmacy 44 of Ron Blake out of Pittsfield, Mass. He's at the head of the field. One more lap left for Blake. As
Blake takes it up into turn 1, now 2nd place driver Butch McWhirter has to play defense on Guy Sheldon. They work their way down the backstretch. Lap car of Art Collins may come into play. A very comfortable lead. He has 2 more turns to negotiate. He gets through turn 3 safely off of turn number 4. Down the front stretch, checkered flag coming out, and Ron Blake picks up career victory number 1 over Butch McWhirter, finishing in 2nd. Guy Sheldon comes home in 3rd. Crossing the line 4th will be the 00 car, early leader Chris Kokosa, and rounding out the top 5, an impressive run here tonight will be Ron Kroos in car number 62.
So Crope's doing a great job in his rookie season here, turning in a 5th place, a top 5 performance. There'll be a modified non-points race presented in conjunction with the World of Outlaws stop on Monday night. And then next Thursday, a few more days later, this coming Thursday, Auto Palace, the automotive superstore, presenting the 1992 edition of Mr. Dirt Track USA, a title event. Race time 7:30. All the names will be here because it is the biggest payday on the East Coast for dirt modified racing. $46,000 on the line this Thursday for Mr. Dirt Track USA. Be sure you plan to be with us because they will all be here gunning for that $17,500 first place prize money. Well, Ron Blake is out of the cockpit of the car down there in Victory Lane. He'll get his headgear unfastened. We'll send it down trackside to Dan Martin.
Well, thank you, John. I'm down here with Ronnie Blake, and they're already cheering. Ronnie's a happy camper. Ron, congratulations. Career victory #1 in the Sportsman division. Had to feel good.
Boy, do we need this, boy. We're, you know, with that in the red, we're kind of in that, so this really helps a lot.
Ronnie, a frustrating season so far this year. You've really seen it go both ways. You've had some real good runs in the beginning of the year, and then everything's kind of went sour from there. Tonight, everything just came together.
Yeah, it's been a tough season. Everybody's stuck with me, and everybody's been pulling in because we've been a little low in dollars, and everybody's been putting in a little bit. It really helps out. That's what makes it count. And, you know, we got some bad calls on officiating and whatnot. You know, it's just, they can't call them all, but, you know, we've been there, and hopefully this won't be the last. I don't want it to be no fluke. At least come back in the top 5 next week, but we'll see.
Well, Ronnie, they say the first one's the hardest to get. Maybe they'll come a lot easier now. Second generation driver coming on GT Brits Busch Beer Night. There you go.
Is that ours?
That's yours. There you go. Winner of tonight's Busch Beer Sportsman feature event, Ron Blake.